Hey guys, listen up.
This is the SEC Insider Hit, powered by Miss Kelly Furniture, Mississippi's number one sleep store.
Oh, man, good morning. We moved Steve Palazzolo, Pro Football Focus, NFL Insider. He'll join us at 8 o'clock. So 30 minutes. 30 minutes from now, Steve Palazzolo on Dak versus Jalen. Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Cowboys, Eagles in Philly. One of the bigger games of the weekend. Two former SEC guys. There he is right there. Dak Prescott's on ESPN. And he just threw a touchdown to somebody. I couldn't tell who it was. Could you?
I know that the headline said Dak is having the best season of his career. So they're talking nice about Dak.
I don't know about that. But he is having a good year. Yeah, he is having a good year for sure. And he's carrying the franchise because Jerry and Steven are still asleep. And the other 31 GMs and AGMs are already in their facility. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, and we are powered by the one and the only, the Purple Grid, Purple Mattress from any of the Miskelly sleep stores and Miskelly Furniture. And don't forget, if you're in the market for some bar stools, football season, a new recliner, a sectional sofa, you can find everything at any of, Miskelly Furniture. And, of course, the mattresses at the Miskelly Sleep Stores. Miskellys.com, the purple mattress, no pressure, gel technology is the star of every purple mattress, powered by Miskelly Sleep Stores. I've got Jason with me. I am your host, Bo Bounds. So it's National Sandwich Day tomorrow. And, Jason, do you have a favorite sandwich, Jason?
I'm like a spicy Italian guy. You know,
no
like
kidding.
Pepperoni, salami, put some like capicola on there. Yeah, I'm a spicy Italian guy.
Okay. Spicy Italian. Is a French dip a sandwich?
Of course. What? Yes.
Because I love a French. You know, the Cotton District Grill used to have a French dip in the late 80s and early 90s. And it was fabulous. Unbelievable. I got to tell you this. On Highway 12 in Starkville, this guy from New York opened up this brand new, nice 76 service station, and he put a Boar's Head deli in there. And so everything's Boar's Head in Starkville, in this place, okay?
Yeah.
And they make the best damn Boar's Head sandwiches. They've got all, a great selection of Boar's Head meats and cheeses, and they'll make them hot. I want a hot sandwich.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Now, in the summer, when you come in off the lake or the pool or the beach, I mean, I'm cool with throwing some, Boar's Head ham and turkey together. Maybe just toasting the bread, but that it can be cold, and a cold tomato from the farmer's market. Slice that up.
Pepper jack?
All day long.
Of course.
And I can do that. But I don't want a cold sandwich from a shop. You see where I'm going?
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
You got me on the French dip train, though. Like, somebody on the text line said French dip from Soul Shine.
It's good.
Is good.
My son eats it. I mean, he may not order it. Well, he orders it a lot of the time when we go. But he loves their wings, too.
Are there other places around here that have French dips? Because I hate to say it, my go-to used to be Arby's. I used to be...
God, I can't believe you just said that on my show out loud. That could be, a suspension or demerits. Let's ask our listeners. Jason just dropped. We're talking good food. We're talking local food, right? I mean, we want to go to local places like Hal and Mal's. We want to go to local places like Burgers and Blues, B3, Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue. I want you to have an unbelievable pulled pork sandwich at Two Brothers in Starkville. And Jason just said, I mean, it was almost like cut. It's almost like an FCC fine. He just said, did you say Hardee's or Arby's? I can't remember.
I said I used to get the French dip at Arby's.
Okay. I didn't know they had one. So you used to get the fake French dip at Arby's.
It wasn't bad.
Okay, let's go to the Ag Up Equipment text line, 601-885-3776. Did you ever go to Steve's on Congress Street?
I did not.
Josh sent me there. I was a runner for a law firm back in college, so I went to all those places for these lawyer guys. Because you don't really do a lot as a runner. You just go get lunch.
Right.
And then you make sure it takes 2 hours.
And hang out.
And, yeah. And basically I just walked around downtown and found stuff to do.
Just took a stroll. Yeah. I like it.
And anyway, but you forget all those. I don't know how many are still there because that was a long time ago. But you forget all the dives that are there. I was thinking about that. We have what am I trying to say? We've injected so much culinary into sandwiches now. When I was growing up, sandwiches were boring.
Right.
Now a restaurant can serve a sandwich and you're like, holy smokes, that's amazing. Like, I'm a big sandwich guy. Are you?
Of course.
Yeah. I love them.
Carbs and protein.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm made of.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I need like a spicy Italian. I like a spicy sandwich. So throw some jalapenos on there, pepper jack.
So I didn't eat Cubans sandwiches for the first 40 years of my life.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And then I think I've told this story. The restaurant out at, what was it called? County Seat?
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful place. I mean, whoever built that place out, like that fit. You know how we were talking about Southern Ag Credit? And they sell land, financing life outside the city limits, and you think of beautiful barns and you think of all these deer camps now that are lodges and farmhouses that can be a combination of sleeping people and doing other things.
Yeah.
County Seat was this perfect blend of, did you go a lot?
No.
Okay.
No,
all right. So it was this perfect blend of rustic Mississippi, but the decor was absolutely beautiful. The restaurant was a gorgeous restaurant.
Ooh.
Whether the seating area, of course, you walked in, you could see the kitchen. It was new.
I like
that. How
I like that.
You see that all the time in New York. It became the thing, I think, maybe in the mid '80s, late '80s, or something. You go to Laguna Beach and Vegas, right? All those restaurants you walk in, you can see the kitchen. They did that, but their bar, one of the coolest bars in the state of Mississippi. It goes back to that article that I continue to reference by David Chang in GQ, right? That's where people want to sit. So if you're any of my restaurateurs out there, if you're building a new restaurant, make your bar bigger. That's where people want to, especially Jason's age. This is proven. That what is your I don't even know what it's called. What is your generation?
So I'm 99. So I'm like technically not Gen Z, but technically not a millennial. So I guess I am like at the beginning, like very beginning of Gen Z, or at the very end of millennial.
Okay.
So like I love saying to people that I'm a 90s baby because it makes them really mad because I was born in June of 99.
Right.
But I still got some of the trickle down from the 90s, but the text line is blowing up right now.
All right, well, let's go to the Ag Up Equipment John Deere tractor text line. Ag Up Equipment in Canton and Ag Up Equipment in Pearl. AgUp.com text line is 601-885-3776. Is there one that I need to see? Because I haven't looked at it.
So there's a lot. Jace says fried bologna sandwich is the best. Unnamed texter said suspension. Arby's, good Lord.
Yeah, TJ just texted me and said 1 day suspension without pay.
Wow.
Yeah, the fact that we were talking good local places like Burgers and Blues, Soulshine,
yeah,
Hal and Mal's, Finian's. Their French dip, they call it something else because it's Irish and I can't remember what it is. But I've had it a million times. Fabulous. The Manship has a sandwich that is knock your socks off. Two Brothers has some amazing sandwiches, and the list goes on and on. And did you drop Arby's or Hardee's? I still can't remember.
Arby's, but I was using that as like
That's kind of the same thing.
I mean, it's like an explanation of why I need better places for French dips, because that's what I said. I said, what are some good places? Because the only one I've really had is Arby's.
That's a problem. I love it when you run into a really, really, really good club with crispy bacon.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, and you know that it's premium like Boar's Head. It's premium meat. Because it's kind of like soggy bacon, soggy, low-tier deli meat. No, thank you. That's why we represent Boar's Head, right?
Of course.
Okay. Compromise elsewhere. That's other places, other shows, whatever. Not here, though. And so, best sandwiches in Starkville? The club at Harvey's. The club at Harvey's is good. Philly cheesesteak at the grill. Ultimate Chicken Club at Obie's. You know, Obie's had gone off the grid for me, and then they catered our tailgate several times, and their food's fabulous. It's fantastic. Have you been? I mean, there was an Obie's in Oxford. Is it still there?
Yeah, Alligator Po' Boy.
Oh, do they?
That's
See, in college, I used to smash Obie's on Sunday, just because. Well, what else were we going to do, right? I mean, it's not like we were going to study. So you went to Obie's and tried to eat 97,000 calories. And we did it.
Good fries, good sandwiches.
Yeah, they had the curly fries.
Ooh,
that was back when Mississippi, you know, we were still rustic and rural. You didn't necessarily get the curly fries everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
1991, it's not like we were rocking like we are today, you know, where all these amazing culinary delights have opened, whether there's Total Dives and Off the Grid and whatever. Now we have some of the best food in America up and down our roads and streets, and Oxford and Starkville and Hattiesburg and Jackson. Jackson proper is unbelievable as far as food. Big time.
Yeah.
That's why I tell my guy, you know, typical suburban guy, Madison, Rankin County, pickup truck. Dude, you got to go into Jackson. I mean, that's where the culinary magic is. And then the coast is blown up too, Jason. So go ahead. What else do you see on there? Talk to me.
Somebody said, Jason, even though he is 24, probably needs an early colonoscopy for all the horrible restaurants he eats at.
Yeah.
Anjou has a good French dip.
Okay. Yeah, I had it. I met, yes, I met several people there recently, and the French dip there at Anjou is amazing. All right, do we want to talk some sports? I don't really, but I mean, some people get a little grouchy. I had one guy yelling at us on the yelling at the clouds, old guy. Yesterday. Yeah. Is this a sports talk radio show, or y'all just gonna talk about food? All right. Anyway, that's a crusty.
Who doesn't like a French dip, though?
Who doesn't like a French or any number of, you know, think about like pulled pork, grilled cheese. Oh, man, there's so many different things going on. And then there's the difference in a po' boy. And anyway, load up on Boar's Head this weekend, premium meats, cheeses, and hummus, and make some game day sandwiches and have a big time. Sullivan's has an amazing selection of Boar's Head, but that place on Highway 12, the 76, it's I'm addicted, and I'm going to Starkville today, so it may be smash attack time. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone ESPN, driven by your next Ford F-150 at Mack Hike Ford, I-55 North in Jackson. Do y'all want to discuss the college football playoff real quick, or do you probably don't? Or do you want me to talk about if Zach Arnett is replaced, who could be the candidates? All right, we'll talk about the candidates again. You know how I talked about Rich Rod? I made some calls yesterday. I don't think that would work. Do I think he could win? Potentially. Possibly. Do I think he's too old? I absolutely don't think that 60 years old is too old. Because Leopold at Kansas is 59, and y'all see him on the sidelines. He's just fine. There's plenty of guys, you know, that 59, 60, 61, whatever. I mean, Leach was 62 or 3. But the point is, I don't know if the Rich Rod thing, I don't know if his temperament, he may be perfect for G5 right now, Jason, just with the landscape of NIL, because you've got to get your NIL, you got to get a quarterback. Got to get a quarterback in the portal. That is the deal. Dual threat quarterback, one that can throw better than he can run, but one that can do both. And, well, I mean, Dart runs better than he throws, but it can work either way.
Right.
Jaden Daniels, he can throw really well.
Darts. He can throw darts.
Yeah, and he can run. Milroe, runner. It'll be interesting to see this weekend what Mississippi State. I think Will Rogers, if he's healthy, people are kind of trending that way. Will take the majority of the snaps, and then Mike Wright will fill in. But you got to get a portal guy. And so when you look at candidates, Tom Herman at Florida Atlantic's got to be a candidate. He's been under Urban Meyer at Ohio State, but he did have to coach uphill at Iowa State as a coordinator. And then he went to Texas, and I know it wasn't great, but honestly, 32-18, a lot of people question why they fired him. And Sark is not trending any better. He's just recruiting like a madman. And he's coming into the SEC, so his record's not going to be even that after X amount of time. And again, Sark's a good coordinator. He's just not a good head coach. But he may be able to Ed Ogeron this thing and out-talent the whole deal. I don't think you can go with the coordinator. I think the two outliers at Ole Miss and Mississippi State are Tommy Tuberville and Dan Mullen. And that is just few and far between. And here's where I'm going. Tommy Tuberville came in ready to be a head coach as the defensive coordinator from Texas A&M. But remember, he had been under who, Jason? Jimmy Johnson at Miami, okay? Arguably, no, not arguably, top 5 coach at any level in the history of football with what he did in college and with the Cowboys. So Tuberville was ready-made to roll. Rare. Dan Mullen, who had he been under? Urban Meyer. And he hadn't been under Urban for like a year or two. He had been under Urban for several years. At Bowling Green, they had to build that.
Right.
So we got, it wasn't
Bowling
easy.
Green.
you had to get that. At Utah, not Utah today. They were G5 Utah. They had to build that thing. Okay? I give Kyle Whittingham all the credit in the world, but Urban started that thing. They went 12-0 the year he left before taking the Florida job. And then he was at Florida for 4 years. So Dan had been with Urban for a long time. Dan came in, and while and neither Dan nor Tuberville were had it all figured out. But man, they were so much better than like a Moorhead,
right?
Ogeron at Ole Miss. You see where I'm going?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So you need to get a guy in G5 or a guy that's been in P5 or that you can still pluck from P5 like Leach. You could get him from Washington State. He didn't want to be there anymore. I mean, Pullman, Washington, I'm sure is a nice area to hunt, and I'm sure they have some good local places, but there's no players around. And so they had to go 3,500 miles away to L.A. or whatever it is to get any players. Here, you can go to Knoxville County, 20 minutes down the road, find players.
Find a headbuster.
Right. Starkville High School, West Point, and so on, Louisville. And I think that is the sell. If you're in competition with Arkansas for Herman, although I don't know what Arkansas may give Sam Pittman one more year. I told you it's either going to be a $16 million buyout if he wins any down the stretch, or an $11 million buyout if he falls under 500. It looks like he's trending falling under 500. I don't know if $5 million is that big a deal, but it is $5 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think most of these ADs and presidents are trying to be somewhat prudent and fiscally responsible. Now, Rhett Lashley, SMU, something to keep an eye on. I don't. That's not one that I would just do. You can't go. I mean, obviously Jeff Levy's nonsense. And by the way, when I see people post about, well, that is nonsense. I mean, that's the biggest. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just on a message board as a keyboard cowboy. Okay,
I just didn't want to get you started because I know how you feel.
If you've ever posted that, and Ole Miss was doing it like crazy when they thought they could lose Lane. We'll just name Levy, and then Mississippi State caught the bug because they both catch each other's colds, right?
Yeah,
they do. We do, because we're all in the same room, all in the same zip code, all in the same party, all in the same deal, all on the same floor, whatever. But Charles Huff, stop it. I mean, in all seriousness, I can't do it. Marshall's head coach, he has tanked their recruiting, and the one side of the football that he specializes on, which is offense, they're terrible. And the 1 year that he was here with Moorhead, he couldn't sign a running back.
Jeez. One name that's on the text line 3 times.
I don't think you can consider Kane Womack, and here's why. I think Kane Womack is one hell of a football coach, and his dad was a hell of a football coach and did a great job under Hugh Freeze as defensive coordinator. And I like him, and I've met him, and he's a nice man. And I think Kane is a dude and probably has a hell of a future. But here's the problem. Although he played offense, he got flipped over to the defensive side of the football early. I want to say his first job, he was on the offensive side, low level, I don't remember. And then he just ended up on, maybe it's because of his dad, Jason, I don't remember. He may have done a GA under his father somewhere. But the problem with that is, I don't think you can hire a defensive-minded coach. Now, Kane may not be defensive-minded, okay? I mean, he just put what did he put, 38 on Southern Miss? A lot.
48.
48.
Yeah, 48.
Okay. So maybe you do. I mean, he is young. He's got a little mojo, but I don't know if the fan base, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to do a little bit more of because I know he's a heck of a football coach. His future looks bright, and nobody could go down there and win. Steve Campbell, who is a heck of a football coach, went down there after winning a national championship at Mississippi Gulf Coast, couldn't get it going. Joey Jones played for Coach Paul Bear Bryant at Alabama, knows football, very successful at the high school level, goes down to South Alabama, couldn't get it done. Okay, these are men that know football. Kane Womack's down there. Maybe he really is an offensive guy in a defensive just pullover.
Maybe. What about Kingsbury?
Hell,
he's
no.
come up multiple times
at
on
Texas
here.
Tech in the flag football happy with Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback.
Yeah.
In a conference that doesn't believe in tackling. You think he's going to come over here? And then he goes to Arizona and he can't. No. Look, he's a face man. He needs to do GQ ads. Okay, he already made $25 million, $30 million, more than that probably. At Arizona and Texas Tech. Dude looks like a model. Go marry some very, very supermodel from Milan and maybe get into TV.
He could definitely do that.
Right?
He could be on like a college
analyst.
football. Yeah, exactly.
Boom. No, Cliff Kingsbury would go 2-10 in Starkville. You thought
Whoa.
Moorhead, if you thought Moorhead, Kroom, Luke, and Ogeron were bad, you could have a hold my beer with Cliff. And no, Charles, what are people doing? Jeff Levy, Steve Palazzolo coming up next. NFL Insider. The show is powered by the Purple Mattress at any of the Miskelly sleep stores. Good morning, welcome in. NFL Insider, Steve Palazzolo next.